Well, joining us now, Lieutenant General Zameeruddin Shah. He's a former Vice Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University. Thanks, sir, very much for being with us. General Shah, given the diversity that we have in our country, would it perhaps make more sense to codify existing personal laws according to the best standards of freedoms which our Constitution gives us, as opposed to a single uniform civil code?
I think that really would be the best. We are a diverse nation, and the various diversities must be honored. I think it is important that the Muslims of this country do not allow the uniform personal laws to become a Muslim issue. That's, I think, most disadvantageous for the community. The reason why these are being pressed or being explained, firstly, about plural marriages, and secondly, about triple talaq. Let me tell you that triple talaq is anathema to Islam. It lays down a clear code of 3 months period before a divorce can be given. Yep. Plain and simple. This has been adopted, this shortcut in South Asia, which I think is against the principle of Islam. Plural marriages. Muslims are accused, there are jibes, hum char, hamare bache 40, all sorts of nonsense. Let me assure you, Vishnu, I have studied the statistics of the government of India. The Muslims are the least polygamous of all communities amongst India. Amongst Hindus, it is 5.8%. Amongst Muslims, it is 5.7%. So this thing about hum char, hamare 40 is all nonsense. Islam does not permit. In fact, let me tell you that the adoption of family norms, family planning norms, have been the fastest amongst Muslims.
General Shah, it bears looking at those statistics, because I had those same numbers in front of me. It comes from the last Law Commission report. In terms of those communities which are more polygamous, it's tribals at 15.25%, Buddhists at 9.7%, Jains at 6.72%, Hindus at 5.8%, and Muslims at 5.7%. And yet, it is the Muslim community that is so often seen to be completely, entirely, 100% opposing a uniform civil code. My point is this, sir. Is this issue being raised now for political reasons?
I do not comment on political issues, but I think that the timing is not correct. The Supreme Court has said so many times that this is an issue which can be taken up later. What we need to understand, what the Muslim community is concerned about, is that the architecture of the Uniform Civil Code has not been given. Will it apply to the taxation of Hindu undivided families? Will it apply to the land rights, forest rights of the underprivileged, the Nagas, the Mizos, the tribals? I think not. So we should accept the fact that a change is required, as change has been brought about in several Muslim countries. The Prime Minister has quoted Egypt, Tunisia, Indonesia. They have been very sensible. Muslims should not oppose the Uniform Civil Code, provided we are given the architecture. What does it imply? What is the meaning? There is no infernal hurry to impose it.
But General, I completely understand what you're saying, and I think, and it's not me, it's the Law Commission itself which speaks about the diversity and the fact that at this stage perhaps the status quo should remain. But what I'm trying to understand is, and I know you don't want to answer the question on politics, but it's happening now, some would suggest, because of politics. The argument which is raised is that the BJP has managed Article 370, they managed the Ram Temple, and this was the third big issue on their agenda. Ahead of the elections, do you not believe that there is a real political game which is being played, and that Muslims in this country are in a sense being targeted?
Muslims should not fall prey to making the Uniform Civil Code a religious issue. This is a social issue. I asked you, will it apply to the Hindu undivided family taxations? There has been immense loss to the state because of that law. Will it apply to the tribals?
Yeah.
Will they get dispossessed of the land which is given to them, their rights? I think all these are issues which need to be examined. Muslim countries, by and large, have adopted a uniform civil code which is not anti-Islamic at all. And I think we should take our time. The time is inopportune to ram it down the throat of the country.
All right, General Shah, thank you very much for joining us, with your view on this. Let there be diversity, but at the same time, let us be progressive in our thinking, I think is essentially the point that you are making at this stage.